Hey guys, this is Live on One with Pedro. Today we're going to be talking about some two threats, and I have a special guest from the cast. Would you like to say hello?
What are you, a special guest? Yeah.
You're special.
Yeah. No, I'm basically a guest at this point.
You're
Hey, guys.
special for me.
Yeah. Sean here, finally off of his baby hiatus and starting to get back into gaming again.
Nice, awesome. How's the little one?
Oh, she's fantastic. But I'm pretty sure like I'm hallucinating 90% of the time because the sleep deprivation is so real.
Yeah, I think that's one thing I probably be looking forward to later.
Yeah,
I know non-sleep.
I know we have a lot of listeners that have kids, and I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I don't know how you guys do it, but you're heroes because it's so much harder than it comes off.
Oh yeah, big time. I already told everybody if I end up having a kid, I am taking them to the shop.
You should. I wish I could just do. I've talked to my wife before about it. I'm like, man, I wish I could just take the baby carrier and just put her in it and just go to like my local store and play and hang out with the guys and stuff. And she's just such an active baby that does not sleep that any kind of movement would just wake her up, and I'd be like, well, this is miserable time. But it does work. It works well for other parents. So if they can do that, I strongly advise it, because otherwise you're just staring at your models. You're not doing anything with them.
Yep, exactly. So at Red Seal, at one of my local stores, two stores down is a daycare. So I'm like, oh, if people wanted to play, you could drop off your kids.
Oh, that's such a good business strategy. Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah,
I love it.
So that's I think more stores should do that. I have a sister store that's just a daycare.
Yeah. Yep. I hear you. Take notes. Let's see a business decision. Take notes, AMG.
Yeah, exactly. There we go. But yeah, no, that's how's everything else been? Everything's good?
Good, man. Good. Just trying to stay, work has been kicking my butt, and being a father's been kicking my butt. So, how about you? Recently traveled, man.
Yes. I came back from the Philippines. Amazing. I recommend it to everybody. I know me and Sean had our little discussion before this. I will say the freshest oysters on earth. It is from ocean to table, guaranteed. So
incredible.
If someone likes it, please go there.
Yeah. Also, Pedro and I have met in person.
In person. It's a miracle. I still don't think you exist. But
I don't, okay. But we met.
I think I was hallucinating that whole time.
You all were.
I was like, is this a person? I was actually just talking to myself the whole time.
Plug for Top Deck, though. That place is awesome.
Yes. Yeah, it is awesome. It's huge. I have theories that it's not a big store, but it's a big store.
Well, I mean, for what it was, yeah,
it's a really big store. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's in New Jersey. New Jersey is so dense that you got a nice big gaming store in there. Take advantage of it.
Yes. Yeah. So many tables. I mean, you're talking. It was originally, I think, a bowling alley. Is what I was told. So I was like, imagine just a bowling alley and then someone shoved a hobby store in it. It's amazing.
Yeah. Oh, that's all. It's incredible.
So, but yeah, no. So you have any Live on One stories?
I don't have any stories in general. So, all right. So for everyone listening, obviously we all know what's going on with the updates, and everyone's kind of patiently waiting. Unfortunately, I'm not going to tell you to play games, because I have myself have kind of been one of the many people that have been taking a break for a bit.
Okay.
For other reasons, I would probably be playing more if I had more time. But even now, it's kind of in that little mindset of, well, there's no reason to rush it because the game's still in a good spot. But it's just kind of that like looming overhead of, am I going to be playing something and testing something that's just not going to matter in a month or so?
True. I can see that. I mean, I've just been playing Black Order because why not? Right?
Dude, I want to put Elsa back on the table and try a bunch of shenanigans with some stuff with her, which I might do. That might be my inspiration to start getting a game in here and there.
You should. Marge has done it.
Oh,
So
really?
yes, that is the only character she likes.
She's a great
So
character.
I think she's good. I know people are gonna crucify me in the comment section, but um,
No, no,
I
no. I
think
think she's good.
I think she's good. I think if they give her an extra health, honestly, I wish they just made her gun where you could change attack types because she's supposed to be like a hunter, like a monster
Hmm.
hunter. So she needs to be able to change to different attack types.
She basically should have Green Goblin's builder,
Oh,
where
that's
he's
pretty
got the
cool.
range for obviously the conditions for her are better,
Yeah.
and I like that aspect of it a lot. But you're right; it should be able to change between physical and energy. Plus,
Yes.
everyone's just scared because her energy defense is just so inherently terrible,
Hmm.
and energy's Blue Marvel's just running around these days rampant. Which don't be scared to still throw on the table. Like you can still strategically play. Fallback is a card.
Yeah. Sacrifice is also a card.
That's right. That's right.
Just throw it on the table. Just get it done with.
Yeah. But
But
if
yeah, no,
if her leadership changes, then, whew, man, I have some theories on that, but that might be another.
a hot topic there.
Yeah, maybe for another episode.
It's okay. You know what? If they hot take, if they made it where it's free, I think that leadership's busted.
Okay, let's talk about it. All right. So so there's two ways about it. Either that you said, I'm about the free, or you spend a power after rolling dice. Because the biggest issue I have is if you have to spend it on targeting, then you could roll nothing and then you just lost a power and you gain nothing from it.
I see
So
where you're at.
yeah, so a lot of times what will happen is you'll kind of want to do that early route with the leadership, and you'll
Okay.
end up, if you don't do any damage, it's kind of like, okay, cool, you didn't give your opponent power and they're rooted, great, but then you don't have power to interact if you're standing on a point, so you're almost like you're gambling. So if information is more present and you can roll your dice and be like, okay, I'm going to choose to use the leadership based off of the roll, almost like think of it like Eye of Agamotto for Doctor Strange, where he's like, okay, I rolled my die. Now I didn't like what I saw. I'm going to re-roll it, kind of thing.
I got you.
Where that information, because the power is rough, but the power is rough when you're doing it blind. So either keep it as is and make it free, or change it to after dice have been rolled. And then I will be playing her nonstop.
There you go. Yeah, no, I think she does not have a live on one. I was trying to remember her game, and what was it? All she said, werewolf clapped back, and then immediately got dumpstered.
Yeah, so sad. I love werewolf too.
I think your idea with the leadership will be extremely cool, but we're going off a tangent. We can't.
What do you mean? What, this podcast can't tangent? I think it can.
We can't deviate to an Elsa.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Breakdown list.
Yeah, sorry. We need structure.
Yes, we could do it on the next topic. No, I mean, if they get some work, but we do have a 2-threat that is involved with that team, so we'll get to that later.
Well, updates are coming, everybody.
Yes. And if you look, our lovely AMG gods have disclosed why the updates were a little bit slower. You can go and check down the Discord.
I'm unaware of that. I did not see this.
Yeah, they were saying it was more like I don't have the full quote, but what I read on the Discord was basically like they would submit something and it had like the old Marvel logo on it, and they're like, you need to fix that. So it's a couple of like copyright stuff I think they just had to fix, but you guys can read it. It's in the Discord. I'll send it to Sean, and maybe he can, send it out to everybody else.
Yeah, I can knowledge up on it.
It's some small stuff. So I was like, oh, okay. Especially when it's like 200 something cards. It's like insane. Like you can definitely miss some details here and there. So
right.
Understandable. But the good news is that it definitely must have been cleared up because they did release a updated document for the missions, which is a good sign, because remember, those also have Marvel logos on it and copyright symbols on it. So for them to release that means that they're probably making a little bit more progress as
Good
well.
job, legal team.
Yeah. So great job. I can't wait for these updates. I mean, you might try Elsa. I think I'm just gonna go in for Kang for a little bit and just try it out. Let's see how it rolls.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Do you physically have him?
I do have them. I did make a mistake, which I semi regret because everybody's like, "Oh, you should use Ironmonger," and I'm like, "I don't have them because I split the box with someone." And then come to find out, Walter was like, "Oh yeah, Ironmonger's like the best person in that box," and I'm like, "You gotta be fucking kidding me." Because I was looking at him and I was like, it's a 3 threat with 6 health reduced by 1. That's good, but he may be a little slow. And now it's like every time I go into him, I'm like, damn, that mouse a pain in the ass to deal with.
He is. Steven was using him for a good bit against me, and man, I was like, oh, I don't really like this guy, but damn if he isn't really, really good.
Yes, yeah, exactly. So I'm sad because I went to go look up how much a Ironmonger separately is, and it's $40. And I'm like, I guess 3D printing it is. So
Oh
I get a
man.
$5 model and call it a day.
Hey, there you go. You got the
Unfortunately,
skills.
I love you, AMG, but for me to buy that box again, and then I have no one to sell a Kang and the Iron Lad to, because they're gonna be like, well, I want my Ironmonger too.
This is like the Bill conundrum where he's going to end up being like an $80 model.
Exactly. Yeah, no, he's really good. And I'm like, oh my God, here we go. Yeah, it is very annoying to deal with him. Actually, I do have an 11-1. We're going to reverse it. I went to go face Waylon, who is on the Game Store Guardians cast on Tuesday, and I left his Ironmonger on 1, and he proceeded to F me up. He like hopped and then killed my Nebula and then just murdered my Miles. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. We're good.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, leaving that thing on 1 is so annoying.
Yeah, Ironmonger actually with power, he has rerolls, right? So he is.
Yes. Yeah. And he was doing a Red Skull Cabal leadership. So it was that one where it's like if you have a skull, you can pop it as a crit. Or
so
like that.
Extremely offensive Red Skull.
Yes. Right? Yeah, it was like that with a reroll, and I was like, God. And then like he also dark ranged my Ultimate Spider-Man, so I was like,
he's toast.
This guy's dead. This guy's gone. So,
yeah, you got no shot. You're done.
Yeah. So that's why that one actually made me think like, oh, maybe I should play Cabal, not because of the murdering aspect, but I've always liked Kang as a character, so I'm like, I should give it like a go.
Yeah, he was great in the Loki seasons 1 and 2.
Yeah, exactly. So, well, no, he was only in season. Was he in season 1?
Oh, he was.
Yes,
at the very end.
At the very end. Yes, he was. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yep. So we'll see. But on to hobbies. You have any hobbies except babysitting?
I actually babysitting. You could be considered a hobby. I actually I recently bought the I guess you can call it the Thor's box, right? The Asgard box. And I've been putting those together alongside New Valk and Warriors 3.
Nice.
I really like both of those models, and I think they have good splashability in other places. So I haven't had the chance to assemble them fully yet.
Yep.
I'm a little bit of like a psycho when I assemble models. I like to, when I cut them off the sprue, I like to cut the residue end of it off to get like a smooth finish. So I have like a knife and everything that I use. And actually, the act of putting models together is painful because I'm just so OCD about it being perfect, like the pieces moving together, right?
Yeah.
It takes me a lot longer than just tossing it together. And then the best part is, as you've seen, I can do all that work, make it, the lines are crisp and pristine, and then I'll paint them and they'll just toss them in a box and and I'll just, like you saw, right? I saw. Or I just throw it in a cardboard box and I'm like, here's my models. And they're just shimming around in there, just getting knocked all over the place.
I was like, what the hell is it? I have an old friend. I'm going to see him at the local store next week on Thursday. And he does that. Like he just puts it in like a container and just like, oh, whatever. And I'm like, oh, God, please
Uh,
help me.
yeah, if I had more time, I would probably magnetize the bottoms and get like and it's not hard to do, right? It's just buying some magnets and gluing them together under the bases.
Yeah.
And I would do that with a case. And it really isn't time consuming and it really isn't that like pricey. I'm just lazy.
Yeah, it happens.
Sometimes I'm just like, I don't know what I feel like playing. Like that morning when I was talking to you and I'm like, I'm going to play Foes. I was just chucking the Foes models in a box because I wasn't sure what I was going to play until like the last second.
Yep. So Will had paint. That's another local. He 3D printed my blue box and Marge's box, so you can actually 3D print it. And then what he did was he got metal, almost like a sheet metal, and glued it to the plastic, and then I magnetized everything to it. So I was
there you go.
oh, okay. So like you might, I don't know if you have a 3D printer, but if you have a 3D printer, that might be something you can look into.
That's creative though. You would be surprised. I know we're kind of going off again here, but there's so many things on like Etsy and small like little things that you can buy for miniatures to keep them to bases, and a lot of like the little trays where you can like stick them on the trays where they're stuck together.
Yeah.
You can stick like multiple models together on trays to keep them upright. You know, so there's a lot of cool little. I mean, if you have a 3D printer, it's like limitless.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. I mean, all you need is filament.
I just don't have the patience for a 3D printer, unfortunately.
Yeah,
because I've had friends who've used it, and then like 90% through the way of a finish, it like either the code gets screwed up or like the alignment's off, and then it ruins the entire thing, and you have to start from scratch.
Yeah, I mean, I think they make like auto adjusters, so you probably can do that.
Oh, beautiful! Look at that.
Yep. So they thought of everything.
Yes, they have.
So,
but other than that, I have not done any hobbying.
Nice.
What about you, Pedro?
Let me see. No.
Quick and concise. I like it. Okay.
Yep. I actually will start because I'm waiting on updates and I'm like in limbo of playing games. I probably will start painting my King at least. So at least I can get him primed and all ready to start working on him.
I'm not going to lie. He is a pretty sweet model to paint.
Yes.
He definitely has a lot of like creative like touches that you can do to him.
I wish he came with the chair. Honestly.
Yeah. I was thinking about that.
A big missed opportunity.
His model is fine from like a painting standpoint, but it definitely feels like it's lacking the creativity in others. I wonder if they're going to continue and do what they did with Mephisto, where it's like, hey, here's an alternate release sculpt, and everyone's just like salivating over it, myself included. But, like, you know what I mean? That's a business strategy. That's a good one.
That could be really, really good. I mean, maybe they'll do it in Alliance.
Yeah, very true.
You know, because they could do it in Alliance, and then it's like, oh, okay, yeah, we'll just add this in and call it a day.
Yeah, true.
You know, so that could be a thing. But anyway, on to our next thing. Upcoming events. We have Comic Zone. It's, I guess, a Challenger event on August 1st at Syracuse, New York, which is in 2 days. So I'm pretty sure when this thing gets released, that will be over. And I hope someone wins with an awesome list. Then August 15th, we got Summer Slaughter in Piscataway, New Jersey by me. That place is pretty good where the location is. I've been there. It's actually really nice. Then we got Torchlight Games. It's a GT from August 22nd and 23rd in Ontario, Canada, and Burlington. And then we got Millennium Games. That's another GT. August 29th, Rochester, New York. Ooh, maybe I should go there. Maybe I'll take a trip up there. Only if Steven goes. Challenge declared.
He's not going to go now.
I know he's not going to go. It's in my pants. I'm looking. And then we got Saint Laurent Open GT in Montreal, Canada. At that's what the hell's that? What's that? October? Yeah,
October
24th. That's at Abyss. I have been there. It is awesome. When me and Marge went to Canada, they have a bar in there. So if you
What?
lose your first game, you can go drinking.
Well, you can
So,
drink. You can drink before your first game.
oh yeah, you could. So you could do a little bit of everything. So, definitely, even if you guys want to, if you guys are on vacation to go to Montreal, go there. It is a really cool store. They have used models. Their paint selection's awesome. The whole store is awesome. So I would definitely recommend it. And there's a store, there's a restaurant like maybe 10 minutes away from there. And they make it's like a seafood restaurant and they cook it right there for you, which is actually pretty cool too.
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
Like you pick what you want. So you could be like, okay, I want like squid and I want like cod and snapper and all this. And then you tell them like you want it grilled, broiled, whatever. And then they'll cook it like that and then just serve it to you. It's like a Mediterranean place.
It's like the grocery store lobster tank where they just pull the lobster out and be like, how do you want this?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
You can name it and everything.
Pretty much. So definitely go there. And now, so on to our topic. Our topic today is 2 threats and are they needed? So this is a topic that I was very interested in to try to pursue because I don't see a lot of 2 threats overall. And we're going to name some of these characters. I don't know, Sean, if you want to handle some of the names for us.
Sure. Yeah, we can kind of maybe like briefly go through the characters. So I mean we've got 2 threat Black Widow. We've got 2 threat Bob Agent. Well, I don't know why I'm saying 2 threat. Bob Agent Hyde. We got Bullseye. We have Honey Badger, Nebula, Koye. Got Rocket, Spider-Ham, Toad, and Wong, and then we have an unreleased Jubilee, which brings us to what, 11? Yeah, we got 11 2 threats.
11 2 threats, which is a big list for
that surprising amount of 2 threats. Where you probably are seeing, you know, like 70% of these are a combination of like Toad and Wong, right?
Yes. Yeah. You don't really see a lot of them unless, I mean, I have seen a lot of Bob, because Bob is awesome. But it's usually, I think it's Toad and Wong is like usually all over the place.
Yeah. I mean, Toad was almost like a list staple, which we will be talking about here, you know, obviously when it comes to, are they needed? Are they required?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and their purpose, I feel like, just looking at it, you would naturally think, oh, I need a 2 threat to maybe fill in lists.
Yeah, I'm going to alter that way of thinking here for a second. So when the game first released and then like, you know, years past release, the thought process was you usually want a 2 threat because you want at least, well, I don't want to say you want one of each threat to flesh out a list, but you want a lower threat to be able to fill in terms of like points. But it's a valid question to ask yourself, is that 2 threat actually filling a role for you? And is it worth bringing? A good example that I'll give is I was married to the idea that a list needed a 2 threat and a 5 threat because it gave me unlimited versatility in terms of how I wanted to play. And it allowed for list construction to get creative. So I took foes to Secret Wars, I think it was called Secret Wars last year in the TTS tournament.
Okay.
And I got in and running 5-0 with foes, got into the invitation to Secret Wars because I wasn't, you know, I didn't do anything special to get there to begin with. Yeah. And I didn't run a 2 threat in a list. And I was kind of, I was running a bunch of foes 3 threats, and I think I ran I think it was like 4 threats, Dracula, and like a bunch of 3s.
Okay.
And I normally would throw in at that point maybe like Widow 2, or I'd be throwing in like Wong or something. And I didn't play 2 threat, and I'm like, oh man, this could be weird for list construction. And the actuality of it was that it actually made the list building easier for me. Because at specific threats, so like at 17, I knew I was going 2 4s and 3 3s, right? or something like that. Like you were
Yeah.
almost stapled to it. Now, granted, that's not always the best method to run these things because you obviously, if I'm running a 5 and a 2, you can help flesh out a 17 that way. And with a 5 threat, I didn't have the ability to run a 5 threat in a 17. So like I'm kind of pigeonholing myself out of options, but it also like helps you for a newer player who's building. 2 threats can almost kind of muddy your lists up and make it a bit harder at list construction.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing. It's just sometimes maybe like it's easier just to run 3, 4, 5s and just kind of get a feel for that first.
Yeah.
I don't know what your thoughts are on that, but I actually ended up going really far without a 2 threat. And I see both the need for one and the good discussion about whether it's necessary is I'm pretty much split on it. I couldn't tell you one way or another. I see a case to have a 2 threat a good portion of the time, but then a lot of times if I'm putting that 2 threat on the table, my thought is, I wish this 2 threat was a 3 who could do XYZ for me in this game.
Yeah, I agree on that. I think what ends up happening when I keep on building lists and I add a 2, it's the same process like you. You're like, oh, I wish I just had a 3 right here. And perfect example is Tuesday's game. I had Nebula and I was running like double 5s and I think 4, a 3, and a 2. So because it was like 19, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm like, damn, if I had just downgraded the 4 and did double 3s, it's probably be a completely different game.
Right.
And
Right.
I think with all these characters, I feel like the utility for your 2 threat has to be huge. And not to put all the 2 threats down because not all of them are bad at all. I think they all serve a purpose. Now, on another segue for this is like, do you see 2 threats in affiliation? And I know you're more of a foes character. I don't think you guys have a 2 threat in the first place.
I don't know a 5 threat either.
You don't have a 5 threat either. But if I'm not mistaken, long time ago, I guess foes players used to play Bullseye. Is what I'm.
Yeah, it was.
I
it was
used to see
Rocket, Bullseye. Yeah, a couple different options. I mean, I think what you're saying is important. I think it becomes more of an issue of what does your 2 threat do for you as opposed to do you just need it to fill a list? Like that's the difference, right? Because if you just need a 2 threat to fill your list for roster construction, don't take one. But if you actually have a purpose for a 2 threat, take one. That then it's necessary. Like for example, I'll give an easy example here, which is the 2 threat Black Widow. I have had many games where 2 threat Black Widow is put dead center of the table, and I had used her to go grab obviously it's not legal now, but like hammers. Her double long move on the center was number 1. It was a no-brainer placement at deployment. So you kind of could, if you were going first, you could be like, well, here goes Black Widow in the middle. I don't even have to think about this. She can double long walk to either left or right hammer or, whatever extract you want to pick at roster construction, things like that you're running, and go, I'm flexible with this character.
Yeah.
And you could throw Black Widow to a left or right side. But why? That double long move, in most cases, you still have to move twice to pick up an extract on the midline. And by most cases, I mean all the time. So unless the situation calls for it, right? My list was, well, Black Widow is, if I'm going first, which is hard now because the rules of the game have changed to where you don't know that. But if you throw her dead center and you lose the roll off and your opponent goes to grab one side extract, you're just going, well, Black Widow's just going to walk and take the other one. It almost like dumbs down your first activation or dumbs down an opportunity for you for what to do with her. So that way you can place the rest of your characters at deployment in a way that's advantageous for them because she offers flexibility. Now, it's a case of it's a long mover 2 threat and she's one example. The rest of them all serve different purposes, but that's what I'm trying to get at is when I put her in a list in foes and many other places, she has that, that is her That is her role. I don't expect her to do anything else other than sit by a source or go grab something turn one and try to help you go up on advantage in points, you know? So like
Yep.
that's her role. That's what she sticks to. I don't try to get cute and do anything else with her. And if you know what you're doing, it'll work. But if you're throwing Black Widow in there just to fill a 2-threat spot, but you don't have a plan for it, I don't do it. You know, don't.
Yeah.
A lot of these 2-threats are utility pieces that all serve a specific purpose, right? They're all very niche in the fact that what they do is something that that helps your list in a specific way.
Yes. Yep. And especially when you start going into more teams that are, I guess, like specialists, they get even more utility. Like if you go into like Guardians, right? And you look at Nebula, you're like, okay, this thing is like a missile essentially. But if you maybe play her with like Adam because you're playing such a high threat model, like an 8 threat, like her filling in that two threat gap also, and like murdering things also helps you put in a 4 threat splash. That might be like your real utility piece as well.
Yeah, she also is bait, right?
Yeah.
If you're a Guardians player and you're saying, I want damage, you're going to throw Nebula up the board and you're going to say, are you going to deal with this 2 threat and leave the rest of my pieces, able to roam free, or are you going to handle, 10% of my list?
Yeah, exactly.
So then there's her purpose, right? She's kind of like bait. Are you going to take it? And if you don't take it, then she's probably going to she's going to double attack and she's just going to put down whatever she's attacking.
Yes.
So like she leaves your opponent with a really interesting decision to make, which is why I like that she doesn't contest, because her, what she does, her purpose is to give your opponent, something to think about, which is killing their action economy. Because if I'm running a 2 threat up the board and they're attacking, like, so for example, right, they're attacking Widow, I don't want that. I want to put Widow in a position where she's grabbing an extract and either getting cover or having a way to grab something and rotate the board. Nebula is, I'm throwing her right up the middle or off the side or something, and I'm going to say, deal with that, or it's going to come back to bite you in the butt. And if you deal with it, then I'm not sad about losing 2 threat of my list.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And it can also add attrition power to yourself because of that long move and that range 3 attack that she has. You're already hitting the middle, so someone's already taking damage, and you're like, oh damn! Like it also, like, I guess, puts fear in someone else to be like, okay, your Nebula's right there. Do I really want to grab that middle point? Because you might have like a Nebula and you might have like a CGR right there, and you're like, okay, they're both not going to contest, but they probably will murder me.
Right.
So regardless, I'm still losing that point. So do I just give up that point all itself?
Yeah, and in the current state of the game, Nebula can sit right on a source extract and dare your opponent to pick it up.
Yes.
And go, if you grab it, then I'm going to get the results I want. And if you don't, then I'm going to hold her activation until later and go do something more important.
Yes. Yep. And even good thing you brought up source items, which is a cool concept in other terms of 2 threats, like Rocket. Because the source has to go there and you always have to move there, that booby traps on Rocket actually triggers more often than none.
Agreed. And the fact that when the sources refresh, Rocket's just a 2 threat turret that can just pick something up unless someone deals with them every turn.
Yes.
He doesn't care about the power, so he's exhausting it to grab an extract and then just shoot twice. And that's more than sufficient for a 2 threat. So that's his role, right?
Yes.
He's more of a turret, which, if placed properly, can be quite sneaky behind terrain and things like that. So, yeah, we can go over some of these other guys too. The only one for me that kind of is a weird fill that I've never quite understood, and you probably have much more experience with this, but I never really know what Bob's role is.
Basically, he could be like say you're playing Jailbreak, he can like pick up your Jailbreak, and say if you're playing like a Kang or something like that, he is that filler because he's a 2 threat with like a range 4 9 dice rocket. Unlocking skulls could be insane. But he has a lot of movement utility and he's a good sack outlet because you can't
Okay.
kill him,
Right.
unless he has the activated token, and then he has the mobility because you can Hydra tactics off of things. So
Yeah.
you're
Okay.
always like, he's always like moving, and it's like, oh, if you kill him, you're like, okay, whatever. Well, you just killed him, but he can't technically die. So it's just a model that's always going to stay on point.
He actually seems to me like a fun character to be able to play the game in terms of like objective play,
Yes.
because your opponent's not going to want to attack him because obviously he'll resurrect, right? So
Yes.
he can wait till last, then he can just like double walk and start flipping points if he needs to.
Yeah.
Or I mean, I know he's only 2 across the board, but he still has some versatility in that he's a body at 2
Yes.
threat that can explode for massive damage and could also like interact and force your opponent not to deal with him, to know that he's going to do something on his turn.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
he'll be available.
I mean, what you could do is like, say if you're playing assault ships and jailbreak, like I know they're two completely polar opposites because one's a 20 threat and one's a 16. But say someone says, okay, we're going to do 20. You could just like grab Bob, grab the jailbreak, and then go sit on assault ship and be like, okay, I'm just going to sit here and
Right.
just not move,
Right.
So you could do something like that. And he's just literally, okay, grab it, move up, grab it, move up. So he's always like essentially scoring you 2 points as long as you can keep him alive.
Sure. Yeah, I don't like, let me preface this. I don't think there really is a bad 2 threat, right? I think every
Honey
single
Badger.
you really? I think for what she does, I think she's fun. I don't think she's that bad.
I don't see a lot of people use her. I will say, I've tried her in New Mutants doing like this janky teleport medium move off of Laura, like trying to get all in position. So you would basically be within range 3. Laura takes damage. I make like a medium move towards her and then like teleport another character. And then like now that person has, maybe the opponent is now in ankle biter range. So then it loses 1 defense dice. I mean, I think that's good. But for her not to contest objectives, I feel like she has to do as much damage as, let's say, like Nebula. Because at least Nebula, she can't contest, interact, or hold, but she's like a missile. Like she's just murdering things.
That's
versus
fair. Yeah,
Honey Badger, I feel like it's just a free points for you to farm power off of.
That's a good New Mutant shout, because being able to place her from 3 to get into range 1 and then just double tap is probably her best usage.
Yeah.
That's fair. I mean, I looking at her card now,
She has the bodyguard, which isn't bad.
She's got the stamina. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
5.
she has like 5 is like crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's basically reverse Nebula, because Nebula is 4 on the healthy, 5 on the flip.
Mm-hmm.
With a pseudo healing factor, because when you activate Nebula, she heals, versus healing factor happens at the end of everything.
Right.
So she has that stat line, but I mean, for me, I'm just thinking you're also hitting on the highest defense. I know she's physical. I wish she had like a pierce on her
instead
attack
of a bleed.
instead of a bleed, or like it's 5 dice. Maybe make it like wild hit and she pierces, so at least it's like, oh, I got a wild and a hit. Now I can like at least pierce something.
That's
so
true.
At least she gains a little bit more, so then she could do the 2 dangerous to ignore. I mean, she's okay, but anytime I ever see her on the table, it's like I look at the table, someone's using her, and then like 5 minutes later, I turn around and the model's like off the table. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, she's definitely, I would say, probably a little weaker than everyone else, but I don't think she's inherently like just garbage.
Yeah. You know what? If they came out with an update and like, if she was able to maybe hold something or just contest, like how was it the Weapon X is, where you could just like contest something instead of picking something up.
Yeah,
maybe that works out. Because then I'll be like, oh, okay, well then she could be like the point sitter.
Wait,
You know,
wait,
like
wait until the update and all the two threats now can't hold or contest, and end up running it that way.
yeah, exactly. You know, another one which I know people completely have put away is Bullseye. I don't think he's actually that bad. I think he gets murdered too fast, but I mean, he is the delete button for anyone that's alive on one.
That's that. Okay, so we talked about this before getting on, and about how we both kind of enjoy Bullseye and don't understand what
The
the
hate.
hate's about. I mean, he's on the turn on. I mean, you're probably not getting an attack in turn one. I mean, some of these secures and extracts are kind of like the new ones are leaning towards more attacks round one.
Mm-hmm.
I know he still won't meet that criteria with the range 3, but he can turn one guarantee a damage.
Yes.
I mean, there's plenty of lists that do chip damage where this guy would eat that up.
Yes.
I mean, I don't think he's bad. I think the problem that people have is when you put him in harm's way, to be able to attack, he melts, and
Yes.
I understand that, but I don't really know what you do to change him. I mean, parting shot, being able to suffer damage, and then you get a fallback on top of it. I mean, it's not like he has nothing.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, you could like fall back and go like behind cover,
Right.
which then is like guaranteed one defense. I think we go back to make full circle the utility. I think people are looking like he's in Cabal and so is Bob. And it's like, okay, well, Bob has a rocket launcher that kills him, but Bob's immortal until you like activate and then someone kill him. Mm-hmm. But like Bullseye can just completely come off the table.
Yeah, I mean, also think about this too. I had a game a long time ago, and for some reason, I don't forget it. I was playing against my buddy Ryan, who got me into the game, and I was playing ASM, and he was activated Bullseye, and my ASM had 3 health left on him. And he was like, I don't even care about rolling the dice. He's like, I'm literally just going to ping you with the spender and the builder, and I'm going to kill your ASM. And I was like, what? And I looked at the card, and I'm like, oh, I legitimately can't stop this.
Yep.
And he did.
Yeah, you just like die. It is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, the guaranteed damage is so good in this game.
Yes. Yeah, especially when I mean, this is a good segue to 3 threats and health buffs when everything is going to be starting to be alive on one. But when everything's going to start doing that, this character may see a tiny bit of utility because it's like, okay, now this person has like so much health and I left them on one. I'm just going to like activate Bullseye and just ping you for one.
Right. Yeah.
And just be like, okay, that's it. You're out of the game. I'm done with you.
Yeah. It's guaranteed. I mean, he offers action economy, and he has movement. I mean, obviously it's reactive movement, but still, I mean, pincushion is also range 4. It's not like he can get to 4 power.
Yes.
So, turn 3, and then at that point, pincushion is probably doing a lot for you. Yeah. So, I mean, he's a good character. I think that people are taking the range 3 a little too seriously. I mean, he's a 2 threat. Let's also remember that you throw him in harm's way, and if someone is just going into your 2 threat, you're kind of going, okay, well, at least my 5 threat gets to wreak havoc on the board.
Exactly. Yep. Which I 100% agree with. And I mean, some other models we could do quick ones, like Wong, Asgard efficient. Web's efficient.
Official Web Warrior Asgardian.
Yes. Yep. You get the power train going, passing a power or removing a stagger or anything crazy. I mean, in a world of defenders where everything is getting hexed, this guy feels like he gets more utility just because, yes, he may die, but if you have him in the back, you could like say activate like Thor's leadership. You could like remove a hex off of a bill and then still go with Wong to spend one to either remove a damage or like remove another thing off of someone else.
Yeah, Wong is the ultimate 2 threat in my opinion. Like, I think he's perfect, and also he doesn't die historically.
Yeah, no, he never dies. I mean, March has completely fucked me up with Wong. I'm like, dude, Wong's not dying. And then it's like just uppercuts me and I die. And I'm like, all right. What's this model doing?
Oh, okay. So I have an epic Wong story.
Oh,
So I had another game maybe like a year ago, and this is also one that for some reason I can't shake. Where in order to win a game, I needed Wong to double tap a fully healthy Red Skull 2.
oh God.
And I was like, if I don't do, what was it? I don't know, 6 damage, 7 damage, something like that. Like, if I don't do this, then I lose the game. It's over. And he was my last activation. He proceeds to roll 3 crits into 3 hits.
Ooh,
off
nice.
off 0 and essentially one shots Red Skull 2.
There we go.
Yeah, and then the turn prior, before he did that, he was attacked like 3 times and he tanked every attack. I mean, I'm telling you, there's like some kind of, this model's like cursed in the best way possible, where he just rolls insanely good.
Yeah, that model is, oh God. Yeah, I love him. As me using him in Asgard, he's amazing. Like you said, it's impossible to die. On your story, you're just like, dude, what the fuck? Like,
he's also just well crafted, right? I mean, making his, which to other characters would be pretty busted, right? Like, meditating is a great ability, and like Vishanti's blessing for healing. Making them actions on a 2 threat really forces choices, but like those choices feel correct and they feel meaningful because, once again, he's a 2 threat, right?
Yes.
So like it almost like limits, it pulls back on, like it tugs back on the, okay, this guy's not walking around just healing 4 damage off of a character. You know what I mean? Like he's every turn he's held back in the best way possible, and he feels meaningful even when doing so.
Yeah, and even in honorary Professor X list I played, I mean, you can pass 2 power with this guy because the leadership and that. So you like immediately can get something started. You could do it to like, I know this is cheesy, but like if you had a Dracula and a Wong in a Professor list and like double 3s, you could like pass him 2 power. He could just long move, punch someone in the face, and then bow someone off.
Yeah,
You know, like stupid stuff like that. I mean, it's not a great idea because you're probably playing Jane more often than none, but it's pretty big when you can start passing power where you need it, especially when you could double up on it. That's huge.
Right. And he's kind of like weirdly the opposite of like Spider-Ham, where Spider-Ham is just like a just total randomized character with no consistency.
Yep.
And Wong is like the ultimate form of, I know what I'm going to do on his turn and it's going to work.
Yes. Yep.
So, which we could segue into Spider-Ham, which I think is just a total meme character. Like there's
I will tell you, multiple times I have hit the full trigger on that Porker hijinks.
No, the crit hit.
I've hit all of it.
Oh, that's right. No. Oh my God.
I've hit the slow, the stun, the elusive, and the push multiple times. We can ask Waller. Anytime I've used him, he's like, "How are you doing all 4 triggers?"
Yeah, I don't know if this is a good character or not. I know that most of the time I look at him and go, he's a great 2 threat that can just sit back on a turret and just hand out shock.
Yes.
And I'm like, is that enough? Like, does that do enough for me? Because everything else on this card just feels so randomized that it just the consistency of characters and obviously players who like characters that have like gainers, right? And like Spectacular, who can guarantee what he does on his turn happens. This guy's like the opposite of that.
Yeah. He's pretty I don't know.
He's goofball.
He's goofy. Yeah, exactly.
He's goofball. Goofy. I think everybody gets kind of hung up on the damage reduction and the rerolls and go, wow, this guy's like super tanky. It's like, I don't even think anyone's going to attack him.
You know what? I think, and I mean, people can quote me wrong here, but I think people play him wrong too. Because I feel like they'll look at him and be like, oh, he's like you just said, he's a little tankier. He can re-roll. You could do this. You could do that. And he's completely random. What I used to do is I used to park him behind a dumpster and just do the range 4 attack for the shock.
Yeah, I think that's correct.
Because you can't see him because he's size 1.
I think that's correct. Like he just feels competitively, he just feels like a turret.
Yes. Yeah. I don't think you ever go in for that range 2, but I will say the web yoink is like you can think of it as a pseudo charge because you could
fair,
spend 2 to like say, okay, I'm either going to pull you in or I'm going to come towards you. And even if you come towards them, you can whack them with the porker hijinks, try to get the push. And if you don't, you just move back to the dumpster and just hide behind the dumpster the whole time.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think what you're correct in how you play him is, unless you're somebody who just goes, well, he's a 2 threat, I'm just going to walk him up, and just like he has incredible defensive rerolls and damage reduction. So he's kind of like, I'm going to throw him up here and just do the builder and hope for goofy stuff to go off.
Yes. You know? There was a goofy idea long time ago that Deaton from Danger Room was said on one of the episodes, that he was like, oh, you can use Spider-Ham in Defenders, boost the dice with Doctor Strange, and then have Blue Marvel help him reroll because he unlocks skulls, and it's like impossible to kill him then.
Yeah.
Because then it's 4 reroll 2 reduced by 1 unlocking skulls. And it's like,
and then you just don't attack him.
Yeah, at that point, I'm like, then you probably just don't do anything to him because the rest of the list is probably murdering your team.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. It's like, yeah, I'm going to handle the ham while I'm getting punched in the face by Blue Marvel. Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. So like, I think in terms, like, we're kind of going over these 2 threats and you're kind of getting a taste of, hey, what do these characters like do for you, and what do they do well or don't do well, right? You know, are they worth putting in? So you're obviously seeing a couple of things here where they may contribute to leaderships, right? So like, for example, Bob. Bob is great with, I'll segue back earlier to Elsa, right? Where she has the boom mechanic on her leadership, and Bob already does damage within 2. Everyone suffers 2 damage on his rocket. So now, cool, you're spending a power and everyone's taking 3 damage.
Yes.
So like so you're using characters for their utility based off of either leadership shenanigans or just, in the case of Nebula, right? It's, I want an attrition list and I'm not interested in scoring. I'm bringing something tall, and Nebula is kind of my deal with it or figure it out.
Yes.
So like you're in, and same with Spider-Ham. Spider-Ham and Rocket are basically like your turrets if you're playing them in that aspect, right? One of the characters you're picking something up with, the other one is probably just turreting and you're hoping for good things like slot machining.
Yes.
I mean, Toad goes without talking about. I think there's been so much discussion on him as a character that it's almost overused, that we know what Toad does.
Yeah. But I've gone into a bunch of Toads now and they do just die.
Yeah, which is great. I mean, he
should die.
Yes, he should. I mean, if you're going to focus him down, like most of these 2 threats, they should.
Yes.
The one I really want to talk about is Jubilee.
Okay, let's hear this, because I'm going to just go with the segment of I don't like that if you roll a crit, you drop the objective, because I feel like she's supposed to be your objective grabber. So do you even try to pick something up or attack?
I feel like she's fair in the sense of she does something for the game that is going to probably make me angry, which is she is going to be an excellent 2 threat in shield where they bunker.
What?
Because she has because of the fireworks. So because she can just spend power. Well, I mean, she doesn't get power super well. Yeah. Actually, that's not true. She does with the blast, with her builder, or I guess the gainer, right? And the rolling a crit, she gains a power. Which, don't give her an objective. Have her sit on a secure, and if you're bunkering up with like an A-Force or like a shield or something like that, then within 2, she's giving most likely every turn. If you're going with her first, right, you're probably juicing her up to be able to get rerolls out. So she's probably giving you anywhere from like 2 to 4 rerolls a turn. Defensively for a character, I think that's pretty darn good for a 2 threat.
I see.
Because if you're using her, the whole point of the character, in my opinion, is sit on a point, turret, shoot, hope for the crits. You know, you go first with her because you want the stuns, and then you want the crits for the extra power. Like think of it like a watered down Shuri, right?
Okay.
Then you're flush with her own power. She's not moving anybody, so she doesn't have any
Okay.
displacement. So you don't mind going first with her. And then she's juiced up on power. If somebody wants to attack her, that's completely fine. Once again, you're fine with your opponent attacking 2 threats.
Mm,
And if they don't, then she's just boosting defense die of whatever you're going into. If you're shield and you've got a spectacular Spider-Man that's now like rolling 3 die, re-rolling 2, re-rolling 2, re-rolling 1
oh,
from invaders, you know,
yeah.
she is basically fueling unkillable characters.
I can see that. I can see
Um,
the utility for that 2 threat
yeah,
style.
I don't see a better option there unless you're planning on playing her, unless you like plan on throwing her into a heavily contested secure like wedding party or something and just saying I'm giving rerolls, and if you tap her and down her, then so be it. Uh, but other than that, she is once again what we've been discussing. She's a turret, but she actually gives a bonus to where other turret characters don't, right? So she
Yeah.
she gives out the stun, guaranteed power. She's the opposite of Spider-Ham, because the power she's going to gain if she gets the power off of the crit, then great, awesome, that's extra. You also could pick up an extract with her and just never attack, you
That
know?
too. Yeah. Yeah. Unless, God forbid, you have a pay to flip. I,
Mhm.
I don't think you pick up and then try to do the pay to flip, because if you roll a crit, that's what you usually need.
You know
But
where you know where
it's
I'd like
pretty.
yeah, you know where I'd like to see her on? Deadly Meteors.
Oh, I mean, the 3 energy defense is useful.
Plus, Deadly Meteors is historically a more closed in secure, so it definitely helps with. Imagine her and Zemo together.
Oh, God. Yeah, that could be pretty stupid.
But I think she feels perfectly fair for a 2 threat. I also like that her spender goes down to range 3, and is more expensive because, quite personally, you're taking a gamble on that attack. So it's almost like I'm pinging you, hopefully stunning you. I'm boosting my team.
Yeah.
She also can reroll herself, so the 2 physical defense is also not the worst thing in the world because of
Yeah.
rerolls.
Yep.
So she's actually as tanky as Ancient One from a distance with that.
Yeah. And what you could think is the spender is pseudo cost 2, because if you're rolling 6 dice and, like, say you do your double bubble idea
Yeah.
just to try, and you keep on rolling a crit for each
Yep.
attack, you can, obviously you don't get it another time, right?
Mhm.
Oh
No,
no, you
no,
could.
you do every time it
You
rolls. It
do. So
rolls
if you keep
twice.
on doing it, at one point you probably can just
Mhm.
refund the whole attack
Yeah, it's also why she's good on meteors, because she could potentially refund herself off of trying
off the
to tap
meters.
it. Yep.
Yep. Yeah.
So, but she's got she kind of has a little bit of everything, right? So she's boosting herself or her allies. She has a way of generating power. She has a decent. She gives out a condition off an attack at good distance, energy, and then if you're feeling spicy, she has a spender that can legitimately do damage to somebody. So like
Yeah.
she has a little bit of that offensive output if you need it. So she kind of checks a few boxes for a 2 threat. I'm telling you right now, we're going to see this character in quite a few places.
I can see that. I can swing over to your thought process there. I'm wondering, when they put this Wolverine thing,
Yeah.
if this was a pseudo hint of maybe a Wolverine getting a clapback.
What? Here's the thing. Is it thematic? Because what does she do for like a Weapon X list?
I don't
Or
think anything.
yeah, that's the thing, is she doesn't really fit the play styles of like. She might be decent with X Force, right?
Maybe, but that's what I was saying. Like, maybe this is a pseudo hint for maybe
Mhm.
like original Wolverine that needs some dire help with this. Hopefully, he gets a bump with this update. But maybe they give him like a clapback, which can be kind of cool if they
Yeah.
do. So maybe that's why they integrated that, because I don't know why you would be playing regular Wolverine. Logan, the Wolverine, is amazing, but I
Mm-hmm.
don't think you would try to offload attacks into him because he's just like
Agreed.
going to be a sitting duck just getting murdered, and instant recovery is not that great of a card.
I think they maybe just think about it for the healing factor, right? Where it's almost like how what is it? Oh my gosh, werewolf, where it's
Mm,
like you attack werewolf, juice him up, and then he can do things
uh,
and then heals. So
I
like if you
guess.
do 2 damage to Wolverine and he's got healing factor 2, where I guess Weapon X where it's 3, it's like, okay, I'm juiced and now I'm back to full and I can do what I want.
Yeah.
But
Uh,
she still doesn't really fit those affiliations, in my
affiliations.
opinion.
Exactly.
I actually kind of like her with Professor X.
Yeah, I mean, just the fireworks for X.
Yeah.
You can get the, it's like literally you spend one just to refund someone else for one.
hmm
You
Also,
can like, you can like spend one to refund someone to do a defensive role, which then ends to then give it to Professor to possibly do another role.
yeah, and you're right, which yeah, it's funding the team. So like she's like an engine because then she's giving herself power too, potentially.
Yes.
You
Yep.
know,
Yep. So
so I mean, in the right spot, I think she's like she gives you a little bit of what you want out of a character, right? She gives
yeah,
you those like she checks those boxes. Now, obviously, like she has hindrances, but she's 2 threat. So you like to see these boxes checked on like 4 threats that don't have the restrictions that she does.
yeah, yep,
Plus energy. You never go wrong with energy. I mean, like I was saying, we were talking about earlier, once again, like Elsa has 3 energy defense, no funny business, right? She could literally double tap her on 4 and do damage. Like there's a
yeah,
good chance of doing damage.
yep, yep. I mean,
So
do you double stack Jubilee and Honey Badger so everybody's rolling one less on energy and then just be
if
dumb?
Honey Badger changes, I think like right, if she gets some changes that make her more appealing, yeah, why
Yeah,
not?
like a super wide professor
Mhm.
list.
Yeah.
It could be kind of cool.
Yeah, and I'm not even going to speak to the fact of like, oh, she's fragile. Like every 2 threat's fragile.
Yes, yeah, yeah. That's not our. The only one that's the exception is Wong. There's
Yeah,
no other. And you know
and
what?
Spider Ham.
The most super non-fragile Rocket if you're playing Groot,
hmm
because you could just never kill Rocket.
Yep, and nobody plays Groot
No
because
one
Groot
plays Groot.
is slow as dirt and can't
Yep,
contribute to the game in any
yep.
way.
If they gave that thing a media move, I would be very scared.
Yes, Groot would see play once again.
Yes, yeah, exactly. But let's segue to like, do you think after just even a quick review of all these characters, do you still think bringing a 2 is more efficient, or would you, back to your whole foes thing, would you rather bring a 3 because of the health?
I think it just strictly depends on what your list is asking for, right? So,
Mhm.
if your list is like, for example, right, if um, I'm playing Web Warriors, do I look at these lists and go, well, I really need a Toad? But like, is Toad just doing more of what you already do well?
Mm,
Or do you want to bring like a Nebula or somebody who gives you that offensive output you don't have?
hmm.
Or like, obviously they bring Wong for a reason. Like, but Web Warriors historically, when you go wide, like to double stack 2s.
Yeah. Yep.
Um, it just depends on, I think, what you want that 2 threat to do for the most part. So I don't, and another thing that we haven't really touched on, I wouldn't even worry about the whole using a 2 threat to help with like affiliation, as in like
Yeah.
meeting your affiliation.
Yep.
Most times these you're throwing a 2 threat in here because it's either meeting a number or fulfilling a specific purpose. And at that case, you're probably already filled with what you want to play. So you
Yeah.
probably already got affiliation. You're really using these guys for like what you. I think if you put a 2 threat in your list, you should have a plan for what you want them to do the second you put them on the table, right? Because if you throw a 2 threat on the table and you don't know where they go or what to do with them, or you run them off the board, they're like prime candidates to just be just knocked off the board early.
Yep.
Like you need a plan with them, right? Because some people might just throw rocket, or for example, right, like on a D sheep. someone's going to take a bullseye and they're going to use bullseye as their back point sitter, and he'll never get an attack in the entire game because of his changes. So just
Yeah.
like be mindful, like because of distancing. So just be
Yep.
mindful of, because in that case you're like, well, maybe I'm better suited to bring a rocket, which yes,
Yeah.
you would be.
Do
But
you
yeah.
think some of these two threats deserve, like all the rest of the characters, deserve one extra health? Or do you think because they're two threats, they're like good as where they are?
No, I think they deserve. Oh, that's a tough question. It depends. So, like, Rocket definitely deserves a health boost because he's what, 3/3?
Yeah.
He definitely deserves it. I think.
But the thing is, he always has cover.
Sure. So
It's always
that's
guaranteed
true.
one.
That's also true.
Would you bring him to a stat line of 3/3? Like on defense?
I think I'd be more inclined to give them more dice to reroll than I would stamina, because obviously you're going to take stamina over dice every time. It's guaranteed. So that's a good point. I would say if it were me personally and I was a tester or I was designing these changes, I think you're right. I think majority of these guys go to a 3/3/3 across the board unless there's a specific reason not to. Like, for example, Black Widow is 3/2/4. I mean, she was in the beginning stages of this game where they were just experimenting with a ton of crap, right? They were like giving you different numbers. She was in like the Green Goblin era of the backside completely changes from what you do. She would probably benefit from like a solid 3 across the board stat line.
So you would get rid of the 4 Mystic and just do 3?
I would. I think that I think some of these two threats could use a little bit of a boring stat line and just keep the health as is.
Okay. Like a Bob going to 3/3 could be kind of good.
Yeah, keep him at 4, right? Because like his survivability increases by like a small percentage, but it's still a bonus.
Yes.
Like it's still a buff.
Yep.
Like no matter how, and plus putting these guys at 3s or just giving them a defense die boost just means that they now have better chances of interacting with objectives.
Yeah.
So like you're giving Bob a much better chance at securing a madman than you would in the past, where you probably wouldn't even take him on madman, right? So now you've opened him up to, maybe I can play this guy here because the percentage chance of me taking this, is greater, and maybe he just is a walk and like just slot machine, try to see if you can pay to flips, like that also helps out with those guys instead of, and then that means they wear multiple hats, right? So it means that instead of just being a specialist and good at one thing, they are serving multiple purposes where they have that niche thing that a 2-threat does for them. And then at the same time, now they can actually interact with the game, and they might be a force that you might have to deal with.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So I actually am really not in favor of a health change for them. I think you're right. The more we talk about this, the more I think you give them.
Everybody like 3 stat lines across the board.
Yep, change stat line. Yeah.
It just helps out a little bit. Everybody just is a little bit more tankier because one extra dice makes a huge difference. That's like a possibility. If you get a crit, then that's like, oh damn, now it's like 4.
Right. And like the Honey Badger, I don't know how we fix her.
3 across. And then like I say, if she did the same thing like Weapon X, where you could just like contest things, then they'll be like, oh, okay, cool. Like you probably just use her.
Right.
Because then, but you know what? You can't do that because then her Jonathan card that no one ever plays, because no one plays her, doesn't do anything.
Right.
Unless you double contest. So like maybe you put the Jonathan card on one and you double move to the other one.
Right.
And then you contest that one. So then she's technically holding up 2 points. That doesn't sound that bad.
It doesn't.
That actually doesn't sound that bad.
Yeah, make her useful. So the only reason that I don't think that a stat change is going to happen is because the unreleased Jubilee is still 2/3/3. So that means that if that's the case, like they're still willing to commit to that. So if I were to make the changes, I would do what we're talking about. But I think AMG is probably just going to give them a health boost.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the only dilemma with a health boost, right, is if we go back to Bob, the rocket launcher, you could just move, shoot it, and then still stay alive. which is
Oh, spicy, right? Make it spicy, Bob.
yeah. Then I think you see more Bob because it could be like, oh, now I don't actually die off of the rocket,
That's a good shout.
because then you I think even if you daze, you still lose all your power anyway.
Hmm.
So it doesn't hurt, but at least now he's alive and he can go like,
Right.
oh, okay, like you could be like, okay, I'm going to like move on one of the infinity formulas, shoot a rocket if it reaches someone if they overextend it, like
Hmm.
get thrown if I don't hit terrain, but I land right on the infinity formula or something like that, or someone moves me onto it, then you could just like gain a bunch of power next round.
Yeah, I think Bullseye is a good candidate to go to 5-4. You know,
Ooh,
I
yeah,
think
if he went 5-4, that'd be good.
I think he's given the fact that people are just saying the guy just flat out eats it and dies. I mean, if you go five
Yeah.
four with him, then maybe that's enough.
Yeah, it could be because then you can still parting shot out of it,
Hmm.
so that's actually not that bad.
Yeah, other than that, I don't really think that there's any crazy changes here. These guys, two threats have been very well designed by AMG, and I really don't have a huge riff with anything other than obviously like Honey Badger just feels very out of place. But everyone else serves a purpose and they do it well, and they're a specialty niche piece that you just need to consider on whether you think you need it or not.
Yeah, yeah. Give Okoye her gainer back.
Hmm.
That's
Also,
the only thing I would say
yeah, oh right, on the range 4. Yeah,
on the range
also
four.
make sure too that like if you're taking a 2 threat in your list, it's not doing more of the same thing that you already are good at.
Yes.
If you are looking to bring a 2, usually you can find a specialty 2 that's going to help add some versatility to your roster
Mm-hmm.
because like I said before, right? You're going to take Widow or you're going to take Toad in Web Warriors, and then if you're going against Apocalypse, it's like, okay, what is that 2 turn going to need to do for you?
Yeah.
It's just more of the same of what you're already good at.
Yep.
So like
Yeah.
that,
And do you think there's a world you take multiple 2s in your
I do.
list?
I think so. I think if you're trying to go extremely wide, especially if these guys get health buffs, then I could definitely see a world where it's very hard to one shot a 2 threat, which then leaves you with multiple activations, even if these guys just move around the board. I think it just depends on who you're taking. If you're taking, I mean, really, other than like Weapon X or like Webs, I don't see a crazy need to jump on the 2 threat ban like a bunch of these guys.
Yeah.
Um, but I definitely don't think it's a problem. You just have to have a game plan for it, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So
Yeah. It's wherever you need to fill it in. So, like I said, I was listening to like a Kang cast, and it was like you do Bob if you need like Kang is a 6, and then you do a 5, and you need like a 3, 2 3s and a 2. And you're just like
mhm.
trying to fill in the gaps
I
all
think,
over the place.
yeah, I think if you're taking a 5 threat in your list, it's probably a good idea to see if there's a 2 because it
Mm-hmm.
just helps with roster construction. But I wouldn't worry about affiliation and like I wouldn't worry about meeting affiliation in that aspect. I think you're just more so how does the 2 help the rest? Like, what is it doing for you, right? So, um,
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't even really touched on like leaderships and how these guys affect leaderships and like affiliation bonuses. We did a little bit with Wong, right, and Jubilee when it comes to Professor X, but like that, take that into account too, right? Something that gives you extra defensive roles or offensive roles might be worth it. Like for example, Rocket. Don't go taking Rocket on the new what is it? The new Hammers mission where you
Yes.
roll an extra die within 2. Like he's not going to fit that for you.
Yeah. He doesn't do anything there.
So just be mindful of
Yep.
some of those things. Like have a purpose in mind, but it has to flow with your list. So like if you need, and a lot of the times, the conundrum I find myself in is I don't ever have a back point setter
Yeah.
that I like
Yep.
don't want it. I don't want them to do anything but sit on that point. So for example, I like taking 2 threat Widow a lot because I just park her on a point and go, well, if you're going to deal with her, deal with her. Otherwise, she's just going to sit here. And if I want to move and go grab something, she's got 2 long moves, right? I can do what I need to do.
Yep.
and just know that the rest of your list probably doesn't have someone who's capable of doing that. So
Yeah.
you need someone to fill that role.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you do have somebody, like say you've got a 3-threat, and I'm just going to just make some things up. Like say you've got a 3-threat like Shuri, right? You don't mind throwing Shuri on a back point, just having her sit there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
So like if you have that, then you take a 2-threat that does something else, or don't take one at all, right? You don't need it.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I mean, it all depends on, like you said, what you need at the time, when you need it, and is the matchup like it also, I think also, if you look at matchups where it's like, yeah, I need a 2-threat, but like across the table's defenders, and my 2-threat's not really going to do anything, but like you're forced to use them, then maybe you have to like really pivot and think of what you need to do. Correct.
Yeah, is that 2-threat going to give you 5 or 6 wide, which is going to give you last activation, which is going to allow you on a pay to flip to like sway the game in your favor points wise, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Like those things are hard to think of at roster construction, but it's certainly like the more practice you get in that list doing it, that's something that you're going to think about, right? So
yeah.
And I don't know about you, Pedro, but I'm pretty sure that like the rest of the community is kind of moving away from 2-threats. It definitely feels like so. Like take like Apocalypse for example. Apocalypse was kind of the catalyst for I don't need a 2-threat and I can function perfectly fine.
Yeah, pretty much.
And everyone was kind of like, oh well, you know what? Maybe like running 5 wide with a bunch of really good 3-threats. And then filling is a better option. And like there have been times where I've been playing a game and going, man, I need offensive output. I wish XYZ was a 3-threat and somebody else to get me for that hump.
Yep.
Like that's just something that you have to just know your list, know your like roster construction. Like for example, if I'm playing foes and I have heavy 3-threats that do damage, then sure, I probably want a 2-threat that's more objective driven to help balance that out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even you look at like defenders, it's always like just 4 models, but it's like a 6, a 5, a 3, and a 3. And then they get like they upgrade from there. The only time I think they get shortchanged is when they gotta do 16 because they need to force the 2 in.
Right. Yes. Lower threats. Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Because the really low threats kind of screws up their numbers. So like keeping them at 16, you have to like really hunker down and be like, oh damn, I really can't do what I really want to do.
Yeah, and then if you're playing at 16 threat and you're just going, well, I need a 2-threat for an extra body to help pick up a source or do something like that, and then do it.
Yeah,
exactly. That. Like they don't even have to. They don't need. You can have a 2-threat literally that's just a body on the table that helps you score points.
Yeah, yep. Especially when like I said, if you have, say, if you are doing like jailbreak and like assault ship, and it is 16, but then like because you don't pick the 20 and you're like, I don't want you to unlock your whole thing, but you have like a useful 2-threat, you could just be like, okay, this one's just going to stay on the jailbreak the whole time.
Yep.
And just score me a point. Because on the other side, they have like defenders, a 6, a 5, a 3, and a 2. And it's like, well, your 6 and 5 have to do the damage. So it's like, where are you going to put them? And it's like, versus like, I went a little bit lower because I don't have a 6-threat leader. And now I can do like maybe a 4, a couple 3s, and 2. And it's like, now I'm going wider so I can try to outscore a little bit better.
Yeah. Depending, right, if the situation calls for it, sure. So like there are multiple outs where a 2 is necessary or required, but I think it just comes down to, how comfortable are you playing one, and do you feel like they do something for you that you don't have? Yeah. Bob is a good example of that. Rocket is super valuable. And sometimes people will be like, well, turn 1, I'm shooting the rocket. I'm doing I'm putting on a ton of offensive pressure. Or I'm holding the rocket for a late game that's going to help you win it, and do damage. It's like, that's a great, like Bob is a great character to kind of just like sit on. And he's very underrated, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah. I don't ever see it. I know Margie's like your idea, the Elsa thing. I told her to put her in Elsa because I thought it was just cool. I mean, the 3 extra damage is like really annoying.
Yeah. I mean, listen, if that is specific 3-threats, it just kills them.
Yes. Yep.
So, but I mean, 3 damage in the new age of probably where this game is going, that's 50% of your stamina gone without even having to do damage, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So
Yeah, I mean, the character can already be halfway there, and you doing that, and then also killing the character that you were targeting in the first place is huge.
mm-hmm.
Like the amount of like you probably give up prio, but you just got rid of 2 models, which then could possibly score you upwards of 4
Yeah.
points if you just think about it in terms of like, oh, okay, well, both of them are holding 2 objectives and sitting on 2 different points. Maybe I can go scoop it up.
Yep. I can't even tell you the amount of times where I've activated a Wong and my opponent's like, oh, you're going to heal up your alive on 1 character. And I'm like, nah, I'm just going to double walk and flip these 2 points. And
Yeah.
they're like, what? And it's like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because at the end of the day, the game is scoring. So if you're not scoring, then you're not doing anything.
Yes, which is why we are very like high on niche and need, because obviously like Honey Badger and some of these other characters don't help you in that way.
Yes.
So maybe those characters are really good for like 18 to 20 threat, right? Where you have enough bodies, where you have enough scoring potential, and then like Jubilee gives you that extra oomph to stay alive.
Yes. Yep.
So you're almost, maybe you're using a 2 threat in 18, 19, 20 threat games with what you have just as assurance instead of scoring.
Yes. Yep.
And that's fine too.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. But I think this 2 threat discussion is ceasing.
I think we did a good job of telling everybody that they should not ever play a 2 threat ever again.
Yeah, exactly. Never again. No, but I would tell, I mean, the segue and, come full circle with everything. I would tell people, you know what, try a list where it's like include a 2 threat and then get rid of the 2 threat and try to find something that does it similar, and then see if like, oh, well, the 2 threat did it, but maybe it did it a little bit better, and then that 2 threat also let me upgrade a 3 to a 4.
Mm-hmm.
It could be like the biggest little adjustment you could do.
Yeah, you'll find that in this game, AMG has occasionally taken stat lines of 3 threats and dumbed them down and said, well, here's a 2 because it's a dumbed down version of XYZ.
Yes.
Or taken a 2 threat and said, like, for example, what I said earlier, right, where Jubilee just feels like a watered down version of Shuri. And that's okay. They basically take what the kit is good at and go, we're going to dumb it down a little bit. Here's your 2. So maybe you look at your list and go, well, I don't need a Shuri and I've already got something like that, but I really want that type of style character in my list, but I can't afford the 3. Okay, well, there's your fill.
Yes, exactly.
And she serves almost the same purpose.
Yep. Yeah. So
I like it. Yeah,
more people should try it out and just see what it is. You never know. You might end up making the next meta list and it's just a bunch of 2 threats.
Well, now that we have 11, that means that we can get rid of Honey Badger and you can play a list of all 2 threats on Affiliate.
2 threats. Yes, you can. I have gone into that. It is very annoying. I'm like, how is this a thing? I have gone into a 10 wide list of just straight 2 threats. And I'm like, okay. Like the average, you have to kill at least 3 models.
That's Steven behavior.
Yeah, you're just like, okay.
that's Borkian behavior right there.
Yep. So it is a lot of fun. It is very annoying to deal with.
It is, yeah. But I think we have definitely some good information here for our listeners to kind of piggyback off of. Obviously, if there's anything that you want to yell either of us for, yell at Pedro.
Yep. All the time. So, but I just want to, sign off. Any last little things, Sean?
I'll probably be playing you in like a couple weeks. I don't know. What's your give me a gamble on? Let's place some bets on when you think the updates are coming, because August is in 2 days.
Yes. So from that Discord message, they said bet on Red, and Red is 1 through 15 of August.
Oh,
so I'm going to look at the calendar. Let me look at the calendar, and I'm going to say it is coming out you know what? I'm going to say it's coming out the 4th because it's the Coast Guard's birthday.
The 4th? Okay. Okay, I like that.
That's the only reason why I say it's the 4th.
I don't know why I'm very weird on Wednesdays for like release days for AMG or like sometimes I used to think that they'd throw stuff out on Mondays. I don't think they're a Monday kind of release window.
I don't think so either.
I think I'm going to say if it was up to me, Wednesday the 12th feels right.
Wednesday the 12th. So I'm going to put it in my calendar.
That feels right to me.
And we're gonna start making some bets.
Oh,
So
I love it.
If Sean wins, I'll play all 2 threats on a live stream.
And if you win, then what? You want me to play Black Order?
Yes, and then you play Black Order into all my 2 threats.
Oh my god! And we'll stream the game and post it on our YouTube channel.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Which is a great segue. So you could find us on Discord, email, YouTube now, apparently, and I mean, I think that's really it.
Yeah, I want to start doing some. I want to start getting some equipment together and streaming some games.
Nice.
Well, sorry, streaming is the wrong word. I want to start doing some like recaps and posting some games, some recorded games to our YouTube channel.
Oh, I like it.
Just so people can maybe see some stuff. I was actually kind of thinking about running some maybe like competitive stuff and then running some just off-brand stuff that maybe people are interested in seeing, because sometimes you'll get people that listen that kind of want to play around with some funky, their favorite heroes doing certain things, and like we can definitely satisfy that hunger.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? I want to put in the request to our listeners. If you are on the channel on Discord, if you want, you guys could send us a list and I will play the list for you.
Ooh, that's a great idea. That's actually a little bit dangerous too.
I know. I will play it. I promise to play it, and I will play it at a tournament.
Yeah, Pedro will play anything. And like, he's not, this is not like a joke. He will.
I will play anything. But if you guys want, you can put any list and make it up, maybe unanimous, or we'll make like a voting thing, and I will play it at a tournament for you guys.
Yeah,
and see how I go.
I'd like if that goes the same. If anyone wants to see any battle reps and they want specific lists pitted against each other, we can also make that happen. Reach out to me, obviously on our 11-1 Discord if you're interested in that, and we can kind of throw together some games just to give you a good semblance of what you want to see on the table, and maybe some tips and tricks to get better at, whatever list you're looking at eyeing up.
Yep. And Sean, they can find you on Discord on the 11-1 channel?
They sure can.
Nice. Me too. I am under Prime, so if you guys want to summon your lists, you can. And also, don't be afraid. I'm actually also going to put this out, which I think is cool. When I'm on an episode, if you guys want to share one of your live on one stories, I don't mind reading at least 1 or 2 of them.
I like that.
So you guys can easily come out, say, hey, I had a really cool thing. I wondering if you guys can tell it on the cast, and I'll read it out for you.
Yeah, we're not going to tell Steven about this. This is just strictly us.
This is just for us. So just DM me.
And guess what? If he doesn't hear this, we'll know he doesn't listen. So.
Exactly, guys. So I want to thank Sean for coming on and doing this 2-threat review with me, and basically seeing where they are, and people should definitely give it a go and try them out.
Yep. It's a long time coming. I've been itching to get back into the podcasting world for a while. So hopefully I will be seeing you in more episodes.
Yeah, absolutely. And just want to say Godspeed to Okoye.